Have you ever laid in bed, completely exhausted, but your brain just won't stop spinning? You're staring at the ceiling, running through to-do lists, replaying awkward conversations, worrying about tomorrow or next week or things that don't even matter anymore. It's like your body is begging for rest, but your brain didn't get the memo. Here's what most people don't realize. It's not your fault. You're not broken. You're not bad at sleeping. What's actually happening is deeply biological. According to the National Institutes of Health, over 70 million Americans struggle with sleep disorders, many of them caused not by external problems, but by internal brain activity that simply won't slow down. Your brain isn't sabotaging you. It's doing what it's wired to do. Stay alert, stay reactive, stay on, unless you train it otherwise. Neuroscientists at Harvard Medical School have found that cognitive hyperarousal, that racing mind sensation, is one of the leading causes of insomnia. And here's the good news. You can shift that pattern. In this video, we're going to uncover what actually happens in your brain before you fall asleep, what switches need to flip, and what habits either help or hinder that natural rhythm. You'll learn 3 powerful, science-backed steps to move your brain from overdrive into deep, healing rest. Because real sleep doesn't start when you close your eyes. It starts when your brain finally feels safe enough to let go. And tonight, we're going to make that happen. Together. Let's begin right now. As you're winding down for the night, your brain is entering one of the most critical transitions of your entire day. And here's what's wild. Most people never support this transition properly, so their brains stay stuck in alert mode. But when you understand the science, you can actually guide your brain into deep, restorative sleep on purpose. Let's start with the basics. In the evening, your brain is supposed to shift from daytime neurotransmitters like cortisol and dopamine into a nighttime cocktail of chemicals that includes melatonin, GABA, and adenosine, the key players that calm your nervous system and prepare your mind for sleep. And by the way, we'll be diving much deeper into how each of these works in upcoming episodes, so make sure to subscribe if you want to master your brain chemistry. But here's the thing. This process doesn't happen on its own. It needs signals. It needs darkness, safety, quiet, and routine. If those elements are missing, your brain treats bedtime like a crisis instead of a cool down. Harvard neuroscientist Dr. Charles Scheisler, one of the world's leading sleep experts, explains that exposure to bright light in the evening, especially blue light from screens, can delay melatonin production by up to 90 minutes. That means your brain literally thinks it's still daytime, even if it's midnight. The Sleep Foundation confirms that even a single hour of screen time before bed can significantly reduce your total time spent in deep sleep. Then there's stress. When your mind is racing, cortisol remains elevated, keeping your body in a state of alertness. According to a 2020 study from Stanford University, people who go to bed with high cortisol levels are 30% more likely to experience fragmented sleep, vivid dreams, and nighttime awakenings. And here's something incredible. While you sleep, your brain activates a system called the glymphatic system, a kind of neural rinse cycle that clears out toxins and waste proteins like beta amyloid, which are linked to neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. But this system only works properly if your brain is in a state of true, uninterrupted rest. According to research published in Science, the glymphatic system is 10 times more active during deep sleep than when you're awake. So let's be clear. Falling asleep isn't just about feeling tired. It's about preparing your brain, chemically, neurologically, and emotionally, to transition from focus and activity to recovery and renewal. And when you support that transition with the right steps, sleep becomes your superpower. And that's exactly what we're going to do next. Now that we understand what your brain needs to fall asleep, let's talk about how to actually give it that. This isn't about hacks or trends, it's about building a rhythm your brain can trust night after night. So here are 3 powerful, science-backed steps you can start using tonight to help your brain downshift into deep rest. Step 1. Create a 60-minute descent. Think of the hour before bed like a runway. You're not just flipping a switch from on to off. You're guiding your nervous system down, gradually. That means turning off bright overhead lights, avoiding screens, and switching from doing to being. Researchers from the University of Colorado found that people who dimmed their lights just 2 hours before bed had melatonin levels 80% higher than those exposed to standard lighting. That's huge. Try replacing screens with a calming ritual, reading a physical book, stretching, or journaling. This slow descent tells your brain, we're safe, we're done for the day. Step 2. Cut off stimulation at least 30 minutes before bed. That means no news, no emails, no TikTok rabbit holes, and no last-minute work. Why? Because every piece of new information you consume activates your prefrontal cortex, the problem-solving center of your brain, and that's the last thing you want active at bedtime. A study from UC Berkeley showed that mental stimulation before bed significantly increases the time it takes to reach deep sleep, especially in people with anxiety or high cognitive load. So instead, give your brain what it really wants: stillness. Try a brain dump. Write down your lingering thoughts or tomorrow's to-do list. Get it out of your head and onto paper. It's not just relaxing, it's neurologically smart. Step 3. Engage your body in a calming ritual. We often think sleep is just a mental thing, but your body has to feel it too. Gentle movement, like 5 minutes of stretching, slow yoga, or even walking slowly around the house, activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's natural relaxation mode. Pair that with something like 4-7-8 breathing, and you're not just calming yourself, you're sending your brain a biochemical signal that it's time to shut down. Studies from the American Psychological Association show that even just 2 minutes of deep breathing before bed can lower heart rate, reduce blood pressure, and increase feelings of calm by over 40%. These 3 steps, light control, mental cutoff, and physical calming, work together to help your brain do what it wants to do: shut down, reset, and restore. And when you do them consistently, your sleep transforms. Your brain learns to trust the pattern, and that, my friend, is where the magic happens. Let me share something personal with you, because this isn't just theory. This is something I live by. Many of years ago, I realized that my sleep wasn't broken, but my rhythm was. I'd finish a productive day, then suddenly dive straight into emails, late-night messages, or mindless scrolling. And I wondered why I couldn't fall asleep, why I felt mentally wired even when I was physically exhausted. Sound familiar? So, I made a change. I started creating a 60-minute evening descent, just like we talked about. Lights dimmed, screens off, I swapped dopamine hits for quiet routines. I started journaling, stretching, slowing down my breath, and it changed everything. My sleep improved, my mornings got clearer, I felt sharper, calmer, more grounded. And here's the best part: it didn't take months. Within the first week, I noticed a real difference. Since then, I've shared this with my clients and patients, people dealing with stress, anxiety, burnout, or just modern life overload. And you know what? It works for them too. Not because it's a magic trick, but because it honors how the brain actually works. When you give your mind the right environment, it knows what to do. It wants to let go. It wants to recover. You just have to lead it there, with intention. That's why I'm sharing this with you now. Because you don't need another supplement. You don't need another sleep hack. You need a ritual. You need a rhythm. One your brain can rely on every night. Here's the truth about habits. They don't stick because of motivation. They stick because of rhythm. And the same goes for your evening routine. The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to be predictable in the most peaceful, nourishing way. So, how do you make this last? First, keep it realistic. If you're not used to winding down, don't force yourself into a 90-minute bedtime ritual on night 1. Start small. Even just 15 minutes of intentional calm is enough to signal change. According to research from the University of Washington, habit formation is most successful when the new behavior feels easy and emotionally rewarding from the beginning. Think of it as minimum effective dose for your brain. Second, adapt it to your life. Some nights are messy, some days run late. That's okay. Your routine isn't a rule book, it's a guide. Maybe one night your descent is just dimming the lights and brushing your teeth without your phone. Maybe it's journaling for 5 minutes. The key is to stay in relationship with your routine, even when it's shorter or simpler. Flexibility is what keeps momentum alive. Third, fall in love with the feeling. Don't just check the boxes, feel the shift. Feel the relief of stepping away from stimulation. Feel the calm that comes from doing less. Because when your brain begins to associate this nightly ritual with peace, not pressure, you'll crave it. And according to the American Journal of Lifestyle Medicine, routines that trigger positive emotional feedback are twice as likely to become long-term habits. Remember, your evening routine isn't something you have to do. It's something you get to do for your brain, your body, and your future. The more consistent you are, the more automatic it becomes, and soon your mind will start preparing for sleep before you even realize it's time. Because true change isn't about forcing results. It's about creating an environment where rest becomes natural again. Let's wrap this up with a simple truth. Great sleep doesn't begin when your head hits the pillow. It begins when your brain feels safe enough to let go. Tonight, you have the power to create that safety, not with a pill, not with a screen, but with intention. You've learned what's happening in your brain before you fall asleep, the neurotransmitters shifting, the stress signals calming, the incredible glymphatic system preparing to clean and restore your mind. And now you have 3 powerful steps to guide that process. 1. Create a 60-minute descent. 2. Cut off the stimulation. 3. Move gently into stillness. These steps are simple, but they are not small. They tell your brain, it's okay to rest now. And when you repeat them night after night, your mind will follow. Your sleep will deepen. Your energy will return. And you'll wake up not just rested, but recharged. So here's my challenge for you. Pick just one of these steps and try it tonight. Feel the difference for yourself. Then come back and share your experience in the comments. I truly want to hear how it goes for you. If this video helped you, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who deserves better sleep too. And stay tuned. Sleep isn't a luxury. It's your foundation. And tonight, it starts with you.